Hey guys, welcome to Banned Book Week, day 4. Okay. This book, I tell you, this book, like each day of Banned Book Week gets better and better. Because I'll tell you what, the last 2 days for this week. So today we're going to talk about All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. I mean, like, seriously, just look. This is the most I think I've ever tabbed a book. And this was for Banned Book Week. This wasn't just a book I was reading just for my personal life. Okay? Um, I, and I mean, okay, yeah, some of it is for the Banned Book Week homework. But when I tell you, this is the fastest I've ever tabbed a book. So, let's see. These first 5 tabs are just in the author's note in the beginning. That was before the book even started. I had 5 tabs that were just the personal pink tabs that had nothing to do with me marking, like, violence, sexual stuff, drug use, swearing. That was just because this book is so beautiful that I couldn't stop marking things. Like right here, he wrote, "They won't ban assault weapons to protect you, but they will ban books." So true, so beautiful. Wearing a mask for the community's safety became the new oppression for those who have never known true oppression. Because he was talking about COVID. Because I remember all too well when COVID hit and some of these people are like, "I'm not wearing a mask. You can't oppress me." And it's like, you freaking idiots. Like, you can't just wear a mask to protect the people around you who might have, like, not as good health as you, who can't, they're just trying to protect themselves, and you could help by wearing a mask also. Like, it just drove me nuts, and they called it oppression. This one, "I learned that kids who saw me as different didn't have an issue until society taught them to see my differences as a threat." Like, autistic people, especially minorities, like, you feel that so often. It's like, you watch little kids play, and, like, little kids, until they are taught that someone is a weirdo or that something they do isn't normal, like, little kids don't care. They just want to play with people. They just want to hang out with people and be friends. And until they are taught that something is weird or not normal, they don't see it. And, like, yeah, we are taught that stuff. And I hate that. I absolutely hate it. Yeah. And then just this other thing he quotes throughout the author's note, and it just boils down to, "It was never your fault." Never. And that's a really good thing that abuse victims need to hear over and over and over again. So, but what is All Boys Aren't Blue about? Well, it is a memoir about George M. Johnson's life. Being black and queer. It's such a beautiful, the way he just talks about his life. And it isn't like he came from, like, an impoverished, neglectful family. He grew up in a very loving family, a very supportive family. But, I mean, it doesn't take away from other challenges he faced, you know? I mean, you can come from a supportive family or an unsupportive family and also have other, like, step ups and, like, advantages, and you still face, you know, challenges. Like, so yeah, just him telling his story. It's a very beautiful book. And it's just him telling his story and trying to, you know, encourage others that might have gone through similar things to also, you know, tell their stories and not, like, hold things in, and just, you know, be yourself. And it's just, it's a very beautiful book. You know, and when people are true to themselves and try to encourage others to be true to themselves, people don't like that. So, it is, if I remember what I read right, it is the second most banned book for, like, the last 3 years or so. Like, the highest banned book. And, yeah. Yeah. So, why has it been banned? It was banned for containing this. I'm sorry, this just makes me so mad. This was banned for containing inaccurate gender information and an unnatural homosexual lifestyle. From start to finish, that whole sentence makes me angry. Like, what's inaccurate gender information? Like, gender is fluid. Like, I don't understand what is inaccurate about it. Okay? Like, there's nothing in here that it states that he has never felt comfortable completely as a male, that he's always pictured himself as a girl, but yeah, like, he doesn't ever, like, state scientifically inaccurate information. He's always just talking about, like, how he feels. So I don't understand how that's inaccurate gender information. An unnatural homosexual lifestyle. Yeah. I understand there are people who think anything homosexual is unnatural, but those people can go off because, yeah. And then it was also banned because it had LGBTQIA plus content, profanity, and because it was considered sexually explicit. I mean, it does. It does in a way have all that. Obviously, it's very LGBTQIA plus inclusive. It talks about all of that, his journey into that world, and coming to understand his identity. Profanity, yes. I do have quite a few dark blue tabs. So yeah, there's 1, 2. See, I can actually, with the tabs, I can actually, like, give you a score of how much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 instances of profanity. Okay? And sexually explicit, yes, I will say there was probably 2 explicit passages in this book. And that was when he talked about when his cousin sexually abused him, we'll say. And that was a little hard to read because that kind of hit close to home. And then when he, like, started dating and, well, I guess you wouldn't call it dating, but exploring, um, like, more into his sexuality, and, like, lost his virginity and started exploring sex. So yeah, I mean, those were a little explicit, but I mean, that's kind of, the book is a journey into his, like, sexuality and stuff, so you kind of expect that. But as far as, like, being a book that high schoolers could easily handle, 100%, definitely. Uh, yeah, and it's just, it's a wonderful book. And I came across in reading articles on why it was banned. I came across this article that, like, and it has this quote that really summed it up, because especially in my line of work, this stuff really, really hits home with me. And this author, Matt C., who writes for the Richmond Library, he said, when critics say Johnson's story is inappropriate for young adults, they're saying their childhood was inappropriate. Ignorance only empowers exploiters. There are numerous people who have been abused as young adults and told it was what people do. These people may have accepted the abuse because no one told them it was wrong or that they deserve help. Many of these youths would be able to speak up if only they had a model for doing so. Depriving them of solidarity will only make them more vulnerable to their abusers and more vulnerable to a lifetime of poor coping skills and shame as their pain pushes them deeper into isolation. Like, I love that someone called that out, because telling this man that his story is inappropriate is so wrong. And I mean, that's what we're dealing with right now. Everything with, like, the Epstein files and all that is one prime example, because, like, you're telling all of these victims that because these men are men of power, that these victims and everything they went through don't matter, because the men that did this to them have more money and more power, so it doesn't matter. And that is so wrong, because as a child of abuse myself, like, I mean, I went through that too with my own parents, because when I told them what happened, it was like, I don't know, it was like nothing even happened with my abuser. They basically chose him. And so that made what I went through mean nothing. And what he did was perfectly fine, because he was their son. But it was like, okay, but I was your daughter, so that means nothing. And yeah, it just, like, more people need to call that stuff out, because, yeah, it just makes kids think that they're worthless. Like, it's not okay for people to make victims feel worthless. So, this book needs to be read. It needs to be shared. And it was just such a beautiful book. And yeah, I get why it made people angry, because, yeah, people don't like when people accept themselves and try and encourage other people to accept themselves as well. So, yeah. But yeah, so that was All Boys Aren't Blue. Let me know if you guys have also read it, what you thought. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for the final day of Banned Book Week. I am so excited because I'll tell you what, tomorrow's book, ooh, might be one of my favorite books I've read all year. Definitely my favorite book I have read this month, for sure. Ooh, don't catch the books on fire. That's what we're trying to not do. Alright, I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow.